My friend, 7:39 now on your Sunday morning. Of course, May is now Mental Health Awareness Month. But as many of us know, maintaining mental health is something that really takes work year-round. So this morning, we are joined by Dr. Carl Clark with Mental Health Center of Denver to really discuss how to boost your own well-being and better safeguard your own mental health. Dr. Clark, good morning to you. Thank you so much for waking up early with us.
Good morning. Happy to be here.
You know, Anusha and I were actually just talking about this in the commercial break about how it's really up to us to kind of protect ourselves and make sure that our mental health is getting what it needs to withstand a lot of different things that are beyond our control. We understand, especially given the past couple of years, a lot of people are now struggling with their mental health. Is there truth to this?
Yes, prior to the pandemic, 1 out of 10 adults would report anxiety or depression, and it's 3 times that number now. It's been hard for young people, so we see an alarming rise in youth mental health issues, and it's pretty much across the board how COVID has impacted our mental health.
Yeah, not just COVID, but when you turn on the news, we unfortunately have to talk about a lot of things that are beyond our control, terrible things. We're talking about inflation right now that's really impacting everybody's everyday lives. We're talking about the war in Ukraine. There's a lot of heavy stuff here. So with these things that are beyond our control, I mean, how do we go about trying to improve our well-being in the face of so much stress?
Oh, yes, the science is really good here. There are things that we can do to power our own well-being. We are deeply social creatures, and connecting with other people is one of the best things that we can do. There are things that we can do with our bodies that will help our minds, being physically active, and a most important one is getting adequate sleep. 30% of adults in the U.S. don't get enough sleep. Then there's this idea of looking for the things that we're grateful for and practicing gratitude and taking time to think about those things that we're grateful for. The last thing is that being in touch with our emotions. Sometimes we have this idea that if we just bury our emotions, sort of like a beach ball we're trying to hold under the water, that beach ball is going to come up at one point. And it's important to be in connection with our emotions and unpack why we're feeling the way we do. And this is where some people sometimes need help.
Yeah, that's a great picture that you just painted there with that beach ball. I kind of want to expand a little bit more on that. I'm really excited about some of the projects that we're doing here at 9 News for this upcoming month. A little bit of a teaser there. But one thing that you had mentioned was kind of being in touch with your own feelings. We just need people to even recognize that maybe they are struggling with anxiety, depression, something under the umbrella of mental health in general in order to get them any kind of help, right?
Yes. It's very interesting. Sometimes we think if we ignore stress, that we'll be better. But when we acknowledge stress, it actually moves us from being reactive to a proactive way of unpacking why are we stressed and what can we do about it.
And the Mental Health Center of Denver, y'all are doing some really incredible work to really highlight well-being. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the efforts y'all are doing?
Well, so one thing is that I recommend the Science of Wellbeing course, the most popular course of all time at Yale University. It's free, it's online, it's a minimum time commitment, it works. And then our website does have wellbeing resources, a whole variety of things that you can connect with, everything from books to read to other courses that you can take to address what might be helpful to you.
And do you mind giving us your website just really quickly for anybody at home that would like to go check that out?
Yes, it's mhcd.org. It's very easy, and then click on the Wellbeing Resources page.
All right, perfect. Dr. Clark, thank you so much for taking the time this morning. We very much appreciate your help.
You bet.
It's exactly what you and I mean, honestly, what we talk about every morning.
A lot of times, yeah.
What we're working on here at 9 News, and I'm so excited about this, is just, we had to have those what I call these come to Jesus moments where it's like, oh, I'm actually struggling here. This pit in my stomach, it's anxiety. It's
right.
It's not just something that's going to go away here pretty soon. It's something I need to learn how to manage.
Right, and I think that what is a really important conversation that's happening right now is how do you take that first step, and that it doesn't have to be anything gigantic,
Right,
right? It can
right.
feel really overwhelming to try
Yeah.
and get the help and stuff, but like hopefully we'll help people break it down of
Right.
what is something you can do today that maybe takes 5 minutes. Who is someone you can reach out to? You know, all the things that are manageable.
And listen, there's not a one size fits all. It's not that easy. You know, what works for me might not work
Exactly.
for somebody else. But the one thing that we all have in common is at some point, we got to recognize what we are up against. We have to recognize I have severe anxiety that I manage every single day, that I have to
Exactly.
get out of bed and I have to learn how to manage this. In the news, we unfortunately have a lot of things outside of our
Yeah.
control that we have to deal with. You recently just had to kind of discover your own struggle.
Yeah, you know, I mean, mine was postpartum depression
Right.
after having the baby, and I hit rock bottom, and I had to. My family sat me down actually and said, "We need to get you to somebody to
Yeah.
get some help," you know, and that first step was just saying, oh, "Okay, you know, let me hold your hand and get you to a place where
Yeah.
we can start working on this."
And exactly, I was going to say, and that's the important part. The one last thing that I'll say about all this is just recognizing what you are up against. That is the biggest piece for hope. Now that we know this, there are ways we can treat
Yeah.
this. There are ways we can learn to manage this.
It's that relief of saying, and that is
Yeah.
the strongest
Yeah.
community I have found, is actually everyone who's shared their experiences. And
Yeah.
I have to say, for me, one of the biggest things has been exercise,
Yeah.
even if it's just a half hour. And when Keely comes on and talks about having a pleasant day out there,
Yeah.
no, it means so much
Yeah.
because sometimes the only exercise I get is a half hour walk out with the stroller and the
Right,
baby,
right.
right? And so it makes a huge difference in my day when we have a nice day.